Welcome to Gators Gameday Live, a halftime show edition for the Samford game. I'm Seth Varnadore. Got Bud Davis here with me. Uh, Florida's up 14 to nothing at the half. Not super clean, but you know, I think the big story is that you have a shutout on your hands, and DJ Lagway got his first start. So, Bud, what are your impressions, kind of from the first half here?
I
Um,
I feel great. Like this is kind of what I expected from the Gators overall as a team and scoreboard, all that, play calling, all that. And then I've just been blown away. Like I had high expectations for DJ Lagway. They're far exceeded. He's looked awesome. Just passing. I think he still looks a little bit young in the pocket, but man, when he uncorked that go route to Badger, I haven't seen that in a couple years, and that was special. That was really cool.
yeah, I think this is probably the way a lot of a lot of people feel. Uh, Watching just to keep watching Lagway. Um, we'll throw up the stats from the first half, Bud. Anything kind of jump out to you looking at the stats? You think maybe one of these might be a little bit, or you think the fumble was that detrimental for the rushing stats here for Florida? Because
Yeah, yeah.
offensive, this is kind of this is the kind of box score you're hoping to see, right? Last week it was the opposite.
Yep. Yeah. So really nice green on the Gators side. Pretty much all the negative EPA is that fumble. Because you
Fumble in
even
the
look
end
at
zone.
our yards per rush, it was really good. And when you fumble for a turnover that close to the end zone, your expected points are 6 and then they go to 0. And that's a lot. I mean, that's a whole drive essentially getting wiped out. So that's gonna bring down our EPA per rush pretty heavily. But man, like I think the EPA per drop back, it's got it at almost a point and a half here. I think it's about a point, which is still extremely high. Every time DJ is dropping back to pass, it's putting essentially a point on the scoreboard, which is crazy. Um,
Yeah, do that more, huh?
yeah, and then honestly, I think the havoc rate for the defense. You look at that 25%. That's in the 99th percentile, and it's felt like that. That's been awesome. I've loved to see our defense generate some havoc, sacks, tackles for loss, fumbles. 0 for 3 on fumbles, but that's fine. It's really good to see, and I think this is the kind of game this team needs to. What we hope is turn this season around. So I've been happy. I think people are going to be complaining, but overall, 14-0 and a really good box score so far.
Yeah, I think the box score is more comforting than the actual score. You should have scored two more touchdowns. You had the ball down in the red zone. The Wildcat call, I think, is getting roasted. I think that is appropriate. I don't understand. I think the only thing you could say, the only reasoning behind it is you don't want DJ taking any unnecessary hits, but then you run him later. So
That's
I,
my guess is you that early in the game before we have points on the board. Game's still a little bit in doubt. He can't go out. Maybe you go Wildcat there. That's my only guess. We talked about it.
yeah.
We wouldn't do that. We would probably just hand it off.
No, yeah, just hand it off to your dudes back there. I wasn't a big fan of the Wildcat call, and it's the same. We're in the same kind of sequencing issues. So second and long, run the ball. Um, Now I'm a little. I think this is not a great Samford team. So like 14-0 is somewhat. I thought there was a little bit. The fumble kind of saved you from what was a little bit of an uninspired start defensively, and you're
Yeah.
able to kind of poke the fumble out, and then you don't punch it in. But I think the exciting things and things that make you feel positive are the DJ Lagway stuff. So let's throw up some
Oh,
film
throw
on
it up.
DJ Lagway. I think that'll make everyone feel a little bit better. But yeah, this is not a great score line here because this is not a great FCS team. But we do have some good stuff to watch. So let's go down here. All right, so we'll skip this one. Little split zone action here. This is something I don't know if Florida's done this exact action off the boot here, but this is something they will do. Um, I don't believe he was off the boot last year, but they did hit Ricky Pearsall against Utah on. He's going to run kind of an out and up. Then everybody else is just running kind of your general boot actions here.
Yeah, so it's the flood with it's essentially a go, right?
Yeah, so he's going to, but with a little window dressing. So he's there. He's your middle player. And now he's out and up, right? So how I think you'd be telling the quarterback to read it is you go deep to short. So here to here to here. So deep guy gets open. That's his first look. And then perfectly placed ball, right? In stride, didn't really have to slow down. Great throw.
If there is, there's two things that I think make this play, and the obvious one is this is DJ Lagway. When he uncorked that, it's like, oh my God, we haven't seen somebody throw like that since Anthony Richardson. And the other one is that's Badger running out there. If that's KJ, that's going to be a contested ball at best, and he's going to have to be catching it 20 yards shorter. Either that or it's going to be 20 yards over his head.
Yeah, so good little wrinkle. Just instead of running just a straight go route, making it out and up, just giving him a little time to go there, but nothing, too wildly out of character for Florida. They're able to punch it in. And then we come back here after a nice run by Jaden Ball, who, outside the fumble.
Man, I wish he
running the ball.
He did. That fumble hurts.
And that's why, you don't always see a lot of young guys go, but
that's why the EPA
at this point you should be let him go. So, and let's look at the second throw here. That there was 2 or 3 throws that I thought were really impressive. This was the second one. And these are the ones that keep you coming back. So a little motion. So it's kind of interesting way. This is basically another way to get to flood.
Yeah.
So here you're going to be flat, and then he's going to run it out. The out and flat will hold these two low off the motion. He's going to run the crosser, so now he becomes the deep guy on the flood concept. So just like DJ had the same read last time, where it's 1 to 2 to 3, and you probably got a post back here.
Yeah,
it's the same read, basically, right? So instead of the out and up coming to this deep part, you got the crosser coming to the deep part.
Yeah, it's like Mills with a Y cross, right?
Yeah, so he's kind of able to get his eyes right to it, and then this is a really, this is a hard throw because you can't quite throw it on the line. You got to throw it over some people, but you got to get it down in enough time that the safety can't get over there. And so that's a really, really nice throw there. I think they give a back view of it, I believe.
Just like the little bit of touch on that compared to the first one that's just uncorked full power.
Yeah.
This one with like a little bit of, a little bit more touch on it. This one was like, holy cow.
And it can't be all touch, right? It's got to get up and down too. So this, again, in stride, doesn't have to really slow down. I can catch it in stride. Great ball. And another kind of little wrinkle in the passing game where you're getting him the same read, but you're making it look totally different for the defense.
Yeah. And one of our transfer wide receivers.
Yes. Both those got, unfortunately, fortunately you've hit on receivers. You did not seem to hit, I don't think, at the lines of scrimmage, which is probably where you needed even more.
Yeah, we're not surprised by that.
And then this, I thought, was another great throw just in terms of getting it over somebody.
Yeah, in the seam. Is that Hansen, right?
Yeah. So another good throw getting it over somebody into the seam. I thought early, and you'll get a behind view of this one well. So this is kind of I think we get one eventually. This is kind of the positives, right? Or you're seeing Lagway make some big time throws, even though even with competition, kind of understanding this isn't the best competition, but these are just in terms of the types of throws he's making. Really good balls, getting it over the top of that guy, but not hanging it up in the air forever to get a safety involved. So, that stuff's the positive. The negative is that, this is not a great FCS team. I feel like you should probably be up by more. But, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, and I kind of get let's run the ball a little bit, get that established, run some plays in our playbook, figure out who we've got that actually can do this. I get that. I think we were talking, there's still some of the spacing stuff, still struggling, and kind of going back to some of the same old with the play calling.
And there's gonna be that with a young guy just because it's base stuff.
That's true.
They probably feel comfortable with the base stuff. So you're gonna see a lot of the same stuff. But the score line is a little I'd say concerning because like I said, this is not like a really good Samford team. They're not great. So the advanced stats show that this game's not really this close, but
no, not
being able to punch it in is not a great
Another bright spot is that punt. That was incredible. We had a great looking punt unit get out there,
Lord,
uncork a 60-yard punt and get down there and make a tackle without a penalty. I'll take it. Florida special teams not shooting ourselves in the foot. That's always a win.
Yeah. I think Rob's right. It should be at least 28-0. You've got to, that's one thing that red zone shouldn't be a big issue against these kind of teams. So hopefully clean that up. Don't fumble in the end zone.
I thought Ball deserved to be in there. He'd been running really good. Give him a chance to score.
And give him a chance in the second half to kind of make up for his mistake. So hopefully they keep rolling those guys out there and they can kind of put it together a little bit more in the second half. But first half a little slow, a little uninspiring at times, but DJ Lagway has been really good. So hopefully we get to see him throw it around a little bit more.
I hope so. One thing I was kind of thinking about is we still haven't seen like an efficient. He looks like AR out there, like where we're not seeing the efficient passing game. We've seen him uncork some explosives, and it has me a little worried that we just don't have that playbook.
No, I don't. I think it's being somewhat. You're getting a lot of base stuff and little wrinkles on the base stuff. This also shouldn't be a game where you're breaking out a lot of stuff. So, I mean, hopefully the Wildcat is setting something up. Fingers crossed for you're holding something a great wrinkle off of Texas A&M. If past is any indication, I don't think that's the case, but who knows? So maybe in a couple games, like, oh, that's why they're in the Wildcat in the goal line. They're setting up this great play to win a game. But I would. Oh, we got a celebrity in here. We got Gator Dave in here. All right.
Oh,
hello.
Nice to see.
Yeah.
Nice to see Dave.
Yeah. What are you looking for in the second half? Just kind of stay clean on defense. Let Lagway throw a little bit more. Get out of the game.
I think so. Keep Lagway healthy. Let's keep these guys healthy on defense. Curious how we get the ball to Trey in the second half. And get him involved. How much do we actually lean on the explosive passing game, or do we just eventually just start running it down their throats and do that and
that's
kill
what
this
I hope.
game?
Well, that's what I hope they don't do, because that's kind of what they did last year against McNeese. If you think you want to let Lagway run a little bit more of the offense, especially if you can get a lead. Well, he's comfortable. I think the second half's about to start, so we'll be back for a post-game show. Hopefully, you can be a little bit cleaner in the second half, get to 40-ish, put this game away, let a bunch of young guys play, let Lagway spin it a little bit more. But
more highlights.
Yes, let's see.
I think we're gonna have a QB controversy, so it'll make for good content.
Yeah, we will. I don't know if we will in the building. We might outside the building, but it can't hurt. Just let the kid get as many reps as he can. He's got the talent. He's got a lot of talent. He's made some great throws. I think Billy even said at halftime he's played pretty clean. So hey man, let him let it rip. So that's what I'm looking for in the second half. We'll be back with a post game show. Hopefully, we're talking about an unbelievable second half. Scored a lot of points, didn't let any up. So, but we'll see. We'll see you guys in the post game show.
All right, go Gators.
Go Gators.